Sleep is made up of cycles. You move through them several times a night, cycling from light sleep into deeper stages, and eventually into what's known as REM, rapid eye movement. It's during REM that most of your dreams unfold. But even before you get there, your brain is entering different frequencies, like switching channels on a cosmic radio. You start in light alpha waves, the same ones associated with meditation, then down into theta, the state linked to deep intuition, hypnosis, and access to the subconscious. Finally, you enter delta, deep restorative sleep, where the body heals and regenerates. But then you rise, not back to full wakefulness, but into something stranger, something more alive. You hit REM, and that's where the magic begins. During REM sleep, the outer world disappears, but your inner world ignites. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational thinking, critical analysis, and decision-making, slows down. It's as if the gatekeeper of your logical mind takes a step back. And while it does, another part of your brain lights up in full color. Your limbic system, the emotional brain, becomes hyperactive. The amygdala, which processes feelings like fear and desire. The hippocampus, which handles memory. The occipital lobe, tied to visual imagery. All of these systems begin firing in ways they rarely do when you're awake. And the result? Dreams. Vivid, emotional, surreal, and often more profound than anything your waking mind could manufacture. Here's the paradox. While your body lies still, your brain is in motion. While you appear to be in silence, there's a symphony playing inside your skull. Scientists observing REM activity have even said it looks similar to someone actively problem-solving or engaging in creativity. And isn't that what dreams so often are? A kind of mysterious solution. A piece of inner art being painted by something deeper than you. And the truth is, you've felt it. You've had those mornings where you wake up feeling like you've lived through something, not just watched a dream, but experienced it viscerally. You felt shaken, inspired, even reborn, and you couldn't explain why. Maybe the dream made no sense, maybe the details faded, but the feeling didn't. That's because your brain wasn't just imagining, it was processing, integrating, unfolding, all while your conscious mind was out of the way. This is the divine design. Each night, as the outer world dims, your inner systems spring to life. Like a temple opening only under the cover of darkness. And inside that temple, your consciousness begins its deeper work, releasing stored stress, sorting emotional conflicts, rewiring beliefs, healing trauma, bridging you back to the parts of yourself you've lost in the chaos of waking life. It's here that your mind becomes both a theater and a healer, playing out scenarios you didn't even know you needed to face, giving you symbols that don't always make sense to the ego but resonate deeply with the soul. That's why you can dream of falling off a cliff and wake up feeling like you've faced a truth. That's why you can dream of a stranger who feels like family, or a room you've never seen but recognize instantly. It's because your mind, freed from the rules of logic, begins to speak in its native language, the language of consciousness itself. This is where science begins to overlap with the sacred. For centuries, ancient traditions have described sleep not as a void, but as a realm where knowledge is transmitted, healing is offered, and the soul remembers. What neuroscience now calls REM sleep, mystics once described as the time when the soul leaves the body to gather wisdom. When the body rests, the spirit learns. And if you've ever woken up with clarity you didn't have the night before, you know this is true. Something within you was still working. And it's not just dreams that matter. It's how your brain reprocesses your experiences from the day. During sleep, your brain actually replays moments, not just to remember them, but to emotionally process them. It sifts through what you've absorbed, what you've ignored, what you've suppressed, and like a gardener in the night, it begins pulling weeds and planting seeds. All of this happens without you trying, without effort, because your consciousness in its purest form knows how to heal itself. But here's the twist. You're rarely aware of this process. You experience its effects, the feeling of a fresh start after sleep, the insight that comes out of nowhere, the creative breakthrough. But you don't witness the mechanics. That's because your conscious self is too noisy to notice. During the day, your mind is bombarded with input, distractions, conversations, screens. But at night, the signal becomes clear, and for those few sacred hours your brain is no longer reacting. It's remembering. Remembering who you are, what matters, what you came here to learn. There's a reason people say sleep on it when faced with big decisions. It's because something deeper is accessed when your logical mind steps aside. Your dreams aren't random flickers of imagination, they are messages. Your thoughts during sleep aren't idle, they are organizing your inner world. And your brain during REM sleep isn't inactive, it's recalibrating you. So if you've ever woken up feeling like a part of you has shifted, that's not an accident. If you've ever had a dream that felt more like a memory from another life, that's not fiction. Your mind, your brain, your soul, your energy, it's all moving in harmony with rhythms far greater than what you've been taught. The stillness of sleep is an illusion. Beneath the surface, there is fire, motion, alchemy, and every night your brain carries you through this dance between the physical and the metaphysical, between neurons and knowing, between the science of sleep and the spirit within it. You're not powering down, you're coming online every night. As your body sinks deeper into stillness, another world begins to unfold, one that looks nothing like your waking life yet somehow feels unmistakably real, a place where the laws of physics no longer apply, where time bends, where people appear and disappear, where you are both the observer and the observed. You've been told these are just dreams, just mental fragments, just noise in the dark, but the truth is these worlds are constructed with astonishing precision, not by chance but by design, and the architect is you, not the conscious you, the one who sets alarms and pays bills, but the deeper you, the one who holds every memory, every wound, every desire you've ever had, the part of you that never sleeps. This version of you is building realms behind the curtain of your awareness. Vast landscapes, detailed scenarios, entire emotional arcs that sometimes unfold in seconds yet feel like lifetimes. And you don't question them while you're there. You live them. You've noticed it. You've woken up with your heart racing from a nightmare that felt too real, or found yourself haunted by the lingering tenderness of a dream romance that never existed in waking life. You've had moments of déjà vu, moments where a place in a dream seemed eerily familiar, even though you've never been there before. You've flown, fallen, cried, healed, all within the space of a few hours. How is that possible? How does your mind create experiences so detailed, so emotionally immersive, that they leave a deeper impression than some waking memories? The answer lies in the incredible invisible intelligence of your subconscious mind. While your waking consciousness is bound by logic, linear time, and external feedback, your subconscious is not. It operates outside of those constraints. It has access to everything, every memory you've ever stored, every emotion you've suppressed, every desire you've never spoken aloud. And it doesn't just store these things, it weaves them into stories, into symbols, into worlds. Your dreams aren't random. They are blueprints, reflective surfaces. They are the language your subconscious uses to speak to you, not in words, but in metaphors, in archetypes, in vivid, surreal mirrors that show you what's really going on beneath the surface of your daily life. And while the symbols may appear strange or fragmented, their emotional resonance is precise. You always feel the truth of a dream even when your logical mind doesn't understand. Think about it. Have you ever had a dream so vivid, so emotionally charged, that it stayed with you for days? The kind of dream where you wake up with tears on your face, or laughter in your chest, or an unexplainable peace. That isn't just imagination. That's your inner self revealing something essential, something you may have ignored or been unable to access in your waking state. Because in your dreams there's no need to pretend, there's no filter. The stories unfold as they must, not to entertain you, but to awaken you. And what's even more remarkable is how your brain constructs these realities in real time, without hesitation. You're not just watching them unfold, you're participating in them. You're solving puzzles, making decisions, forming attachments. And every character you meet, every face you see, it's you, a projection of a part of your psyche, a representation of a belief, a fear, a memory, or a hidden truth. Even the places, the cities, the homes, the forests, they all come from somewhere deep inside you. Your mind is a master creator, an artist, a director, a composer, and every night it creates full-spectrum experiences using only the raw material of your inner life. A heartbreak you buried, a dream you forgot, a lesson you refused to learn. It all shows up, not to punish you, but to help you integrate, to help you understand who you really are beyond the identity you wear during the day. And sometimes, dreams take you even further, beyond the personal, beyond the psychological, into something collective, something archetypal. You dream of floods and fires, of strangers with golden eyes, of symbols that feel ancient. You've never seen them before, yet they resonate deeply. That's because your subconscious doesn't just draw from your life. It draws from a well much older than your current name or story. What Carl Jung called the collective unconscious, the vast field of shared human memory and myth that lives within us all. In dreams, you're not just revisiting your own past. You're brushing up against something timeless, This is why your dreams can feel more real than waking life, because in many ways they are. Waking life is filtered through expectations, distractions, and the need to function. But in your dreams you are raw, exposed, open, and the emotions you feel there, they're not dulled by denial or suppression. They are pure, unfiltered. If you feel grief in a dream, it pours through you like a river. If you feel love, it floods every cell. That level of intensity isn't just accidental, it's healing. The dream space is the only realm where you can die and be reborn within minutes, where you can confront your deepest fear and come out on the other side, trembling but whole, where you can receive messages from loved ones long gone, or hear your own soul whisper what you've been too afraid to admit during the day. It's a realm where boundaries disappear and your inner world becomes the only world. And yet, most people forget. They wake up and dismiss it all as fantasy. They scroll past the meaning. They ignore the insights. But you don't have to. You can learn to decode the symbols, to listen more closely, to recognize the architects behind the veil, because once you do, you begin to realize that your dreams are not separate from your spiritual journey. They are your spiritual journey. Every night, you're given access to the deepest chambers of your psyche, the quietest whispers of your intuition, and the most powerful tools of transformation. And it all happens while the world around you sleeps. There's a reason ancient cultures honored dreams as sacred. There's a reason prophets, sages, and oracles spoke of visions that came in the night. They weren't just imagining, they were listening, tuning in, and you can too, because your dreams are not just stories, they are maps, maps of where you've been, and where you're meant to go. So the next time you lay down to sleep, remember this. You are not falling into nothingness. You are stepping into the most intricate, intelligent, and emotionally rich space your consciousness has access to. You are entering the cathedral of your soul, and the architects are already waiting. Waiting to show you what you've forgotten. Waiting to reveal who you've always been. There's something happening inside your brain every night that most people have no idea about. A molecular miracle so potent, so mysterious, that scientists are only beginning to understand its power. And yet, it may be one of the most important ingredients in the architecture of your consciousness. Not just when you're awake, but especially when you sleep. You've heard of melatonin, serotonin, dopamine, but there's another compound, whispered about in ancient circles and studied in the most cutting-edge labs. It's called DMT, short for dimethyltryptamine, and chances are it's already reshaping the very fabric of your reality while your eyes are closed.